Hi, you welcome back. So we want to talk about the time periods. The time periods. We have two basic time periods. We have the short run period and the long run period. We'll first talk about the short run period. The short run cost theory. The short run is a period in which the firm cannot change its plant, equipment, and the scale of organization. To meet the increased demand, it can raise output by hiring more labor and getting more raw materials, or asking the existing labor force to work overtime. So in the short run, a firm cannot increase its plant, it cannot increase its equipment, cannot build an extra factory, it cannot increase the scale of production. So in the short run, there are two types of costs. We have the fixed cost and we have the variable cost. So some inputs are used over a period of time for producing more than one batch of goods. In the short run, the fixed cost, instead of you getting an extra machine, what you have to do, because in the short run you cannot get an extra machine, you produce your goods in batches. You cannot produce all of them at once, and the cost incurred on the fixed cost the fixed factor is called the fixed cost. For example, amount spent on purchase of equipment, machinery, land, building is called the fixed cost. And also in the short run, we have the variable cost. Variable cost. When output has increased, the firm spends more on these items. How? As a firm, if you want to increase your production in the short run, you cannot buy an extra machine, so you'd have to buy more of the raw materials and produce more. You have to in the short run you can employ more labor, so you have to employ more people so that there will be more hands on deck to produce more. The money spent on labor, raw materials, electricity usage, and all other variable products or inputs is called the variable cost. So basically, the variable costs vary according to the output. In the long run, all costs are become variable, because in the long run you can increase your scale of production, you can buy more plants and others. But in the short run, we have fixed cost and we have variable cost. So the different types of costs are fixed cost and variable cost, but we want to look at the total cost. As in production, we saw the total product, marginal product, average product. We want to disintegrate them and look at them one after the other. So the total cost. Total cost is the market value. We are still in the short run. Kindly note, total cost is the market value of all resources used to produce a good or a service, and it's mathematically expressed as total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So the total cost, the amount you spend on the fixed factor and the amount you spend on the variable factor put together gives you your total cost. And so total fixed cost is the cost of production spent on the fixed cost only, and normally the total fixed cost remains constant no matter what level of output you have. Total fixed cost can be found by subtracting total variable cost from the total cost. So total cost is just change of subjects. If you want to find total fixed cost, it's total cost minus total variable cost. The next to talk about is total variable cost. The total variable cost is the cost of production incurred on the variable factor, and it's also can be computed by subtracting the total fixed cost from the total cost. The next is average cost. Average cost is the total cost divided by the level of output. So total cost divided by Q, and it's also the average fixed cost plus the average variable cost. You know, average fixed cost can be computed by dividing total fixed cost by quantity, and average variable cost is total variable cost by quantity. So since we can have average fixed cost and average variable cost, average cost can also be termed as average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Great. So the average variable cost, as I mentioned, is total variable cost divided by quantity. Average fixed cost is total fixed cost divided by quantity. Then the last thing is the marginal cost. The marginal cost is the TC. I believe you have seen something new. The TC divided by the Q. So it's normally called the TC DQ. And the D is basically change. So change in total cost divided by change in quantity. So TCN representing the current total cost minus the previous total cost, that is TCN minus 1. And the DQ is QN, current quantity divided by the previous quantity. Right. This is the shape of, so these are the shapes of the different types of cost. So the total cost, because it has total fixed cost and total variable cost, it starts from where the total fixed cost starts, and it takes the shape. Since the total fixed cost is constant, fixed cost means it doesn't change, it's the same throughout. So it takes the shape of the total variable cost. Total variable cost starts from 0. It increases steeply initially, it becomes gentle, and increases again in that regard. And all these shape, the shape of the total cost and the total variable cost is as a result of the law of diminishing marginal returns we talked about in production. Alright, so let's look at this cost schedule and see how the calculation is done. You have intentionally reserved some in for your trial A, B, and C. Let's take examples on how to calculate total cost, another example on how to calculate average cost, another example on how to calculate marginal cost. And I think the understanding will be very clear. So example 1, from find A from table 1. Find A means find total cost. Total cost can be calculated in different ways. Total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So 100 plus 150 will give us A. So 100 plus 150 gives us 250. Example 2, find C, which is average cost. Average cost is total cost divided by quantity. So we have total cost 753 divided by quantity 8, which gives us our answer. Yeah. So that is what we have. We have a 94.125, but you can approximate it to 94. And the last example, find B, marginal cost. Marginal cost. And marginal cost is change in total cost divided by change in quantity. Now, marginal cost at the point where we are supposed to find marginal cost, total cost is 387. So that's the current total cost minus the previous total cost, all over current quantity minus previous quantity. Let's see how it was done. So, as we stated them, current total cost, previous total cost, current quantity, previous quantity. So 387 minus 310, all divided by 5 minus 4, we have 77. I believe it's clear. We'll pause here and continue in the next slide. Thank you.